Welcome to Donation Day, which I decided to keep, even though it's Daniel month.
Oh.
We're going to do a diversion and just go to back to a normal Donation Day today.
Your royal decree.
Yeah.
And
now,
stolen
because I am a kind and benevolent king. What's today's, I don't know what today's date is. It's Friday the 17th, 16th, is it 15th maybe? And I say that because it's Brian Dickerson Day.
Okay.
I don't know if you know that.
Brian Dickerson Day.
It was proclaimed Brian Dickerson Day. There was an act of the Whiskey Vault Congress. They got together and they nominated March 15th as...
Is that known as the Whiskey Consulate?
Brian, maybe. We're doing the Whiskey Consulate.
The Whiskey Consulate got together and convened.
Yeah.
And decided, hear ye.
For 2019, yes. March 15th is Brian Dickerson Day.
Brian Dickerson Day.
Brian Dickerson sent all that in one box. He also sent in cash because the shipment was taking too long for him. Right. And so we want to make sure we could get some whiskey while we were waiting. Yeah. Because he's just that.
So is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? That's patron saint.
It's gonna be 9.
Immediately.
Yeah, it's gonna be 9 total.
Immediately.
Brian Dickerson. Kind of like that.
Yeah, that's the official.
It's like the bells.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we're just gonna work our way through. Now we've already done a review.
Okay.
Of slain whiskey.
I remember this.
And because we have so many, I'm just going to set this one aside for a second.
Yeah.
So I'm going to leave that unopened, Brian, so that when the current slain runs out, we can replace it with Brian Dickerson.
But we got to catch them all.
Now, let's go to the two side by side from one distillery.
Right.
He got us a bunch of Missouri whiskey.
Oh.
So one of them is Rally Point Rye and SS Sorghum. Yeah. Now these are all from Still 630.
That famous arch thing right there?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
It is actually huge.
And it's cool.
Because some things you see on TV, it's like, it looks pretty big, but you never really know. I think the Statue of Liberty, some people, it's big, don't get me wrong, it's big, but it's not as monstrous. It's not skyscraper tall like a lot of people think it is. This, though, huge. The arch between Missouri and something else.
It's on the river.
On the river, yeah.
So, actually... St. Louis is a really cool town.
Okay.
I play a lot of really fun shows
they got some...
And that's where I learned my Guinness stew recipe.
Did I go with you?
No.
Okay, so probably went with Luke, guy I work with sometimes. We went to this barbecue joint. St. Louis has got some mean barbecue.
Yes, it does.
Super good.
But remember my Guinness stew that I made one time?
Yeah.
I got that recipe in St. Louis from an Irish pub.
Okay.
The chef, when they closed,
I
managed to convince him to give me his recipe.
Yeah. He was Norwegian, though, which was weird.
Super weird. All right, this is Sorghum whiskey.
I've heard of.
100% sorghum, evidently.
Ooh.
Now, sorghum is a grain, right? Ooh. And most people think of sorghum when they think sorghum syrup.
Yeah.
Right? But that's no different than like corn syrup or a syrup made from a grain.
Sure.
Right? It's just sugar made from a grain. So sorghum... There are like 25 species or so from the Googling, and more than half of them...
Which is more powerful than Googling.
Yeah, this is cool. More than half of them are in Australia. Evidently Australia
Sorghum's a thing.
Sorghum happy.
They're sorghum rich.
Yeah. Then they extend through Africa, Asia, India.
So this is interesting because on the nose, this is about 80% just classic whiskey, sweetness and character, but then... I'm saying like American whiskey.
Yeah.
Classic American whiskey.
But then there's something going on back there that your brain goes,
there's 20% of
that?
Like a savory vegetal note.
Yeah, I buy that. Now, David Weglarts, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, that's the distillery, founded the distillery. I dig his excitement about his distillery. As a marketer, I'm looking at the website and he's saying things like, you know what makes us different? Our passion. And I'm like, oh man. Come on, because I've heard that the whiskey's really good, and that's not.
It's not only whiskey. It's not only whiskey. You can go to any industry on the planet.
You know what makes our thing different? We care.
Right. I'm really camping out because I'm going to say 80% again. Classic American whiskey notes.
Ooh.
There's a lot of similarities to some of your more corn-heavy whiskeys.
I shouldn't do that.
But that 20%, I'm exploring the 20%.
So here's the thing,
like a vegetal note with
Yeah, but here's what I'm getting though. Take a sip of it because it starts the direction of a really pretty used cask corn whiskey.
Yeah.
But then halfway through, it switches to this really dense, perfumey note.
Okay. I'm going to say this. And the only reason I can even reach back to this reference point is because you held up a jar of heather this morning.
The other day, yeah.
I'm getting a bit of heather on the nose.
Yeah, because it's very plant, dense.
Yes.
Almost malty, which is weird. Almost musty grain.
I'm getting heather.
Yeah. So if you can go to a botanical shop and you can order heather flowers. Crumpled up dried heather flowers, and it's very much that direction.
Almost like a syrupy dark chocolate.
Yeah, but then the taste gets so perfume heavy.
That is really interesting. I like it. It's syrupy dark chocolate with heather.
I was thinking it was going to be simple.
No, there's things going on.
It's not.
The heather carries through on the taste.
Now we've got a rye, and their rye, if I remember correctly, is 90% rye. Oop, I poured it into the wrong glass. 90% rye.
Yeah.
And 10% malted barley. Now he's doing pot still whiskey. And they're winning awards all over the place.
No, this is a special rye.
This is one of the most floral ryes I've ever smelled.
But so I'm going to a greenhouse.
This is almost to a gin.
Densely packed with flowers.
This
very
is botanical.
Very aromatic. Yeah.
Like, remember all the gins we tried?
Uh-huh.
It's heading that direction of so botanical. Did you hear that?
You hungry?
That was my stomach.
Daniel's hungry.
That was weird. I wonder if that was audible in the microphone.
Don't know. Daniel was in his office while I went to lunch.
It's super vanilla, and that big floral botanical is subdued and then sort of tries to creep out at the end and then settles. This is a drinkable rye like nobody's business. There's nothing overly harsh or aggressive about it.
The finish does just settle. It does dissipate into nothing, but it swells up. And yeah, I don't know if the floral note really...
It didn't come through in the taste. Not the same way.
Not the same way. It's there, but it presents differently on the taste.
So this is a dramatically beautiful nose and a very pleasing and enjoyable taste.
Hot house full of flowers.
But the nose is preferable to the taste. I mean, the nose wins on this, I think.
A hot house full of flowers. Some oakiness there. It's like the hothouse is made, the greenhouse is made from oak wood, and it's been cooked in that really hot, humid air.
All right, we're moving to J. Rieger's private stock.
Oh, man.
They take a specific barrel and then they finish it in something. So this is a 6-year-old straight bourbon finished in Sean Minor wine barrels of some sort. So this is a wine-finished bourbon.
Okay.
And this one is private stock for Hy-Vee, which is a store. Oh, I thought I got us 2 glasses and I didn't.
Can you make a cork sound? No.
Nope, can't do it. I can't do it. Are you sucking in or out?
Out.
Nope, can't do it. That was a good waste of 30 seconds. All right.
This is top shelf content.
So, J. Rieger is Kansas City.
Yeah. I wish I knew what kind of wine. I mean, not that
I know, me too.
Not that I'm going to be able to pick it out, but it would just be nice to know.
This is 52.5%.
And
the nose is nice.
Yeah.
It's subtle and slightly brown sugared.
Yeah.
A little bit of classic bourbon notes, but then
classic bourbon notes.
there's something a little clingy sweet in the nose.
Classic bourbon notes, but at that 50%, I was expecting a little more jumping out of the glass.
I was also expecting a little more wine impact.
Yeah, maybe on the taste.
Oh, the taste is great.
Oh.
The taste has all the dense, dark sweetness that
Ooh, and then the barrel shows up at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The nose is really subdued.
Dark black cherry on the flavor there. Got a little bit of honey. And the brown sugar.
Oh. It's starting to open up. So roll it around in your glass kind of aggressively. Let some of the fumes evaporate. And then you can reach in, you can smell a little bit of more of that dark cherry plum in the nose. That's a very high commitment to...
You said aggressively. Okay, I got you.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
But it is. The nose is, it's hard to crack. Oh, that tastes great.
Yeah, that's nice. And if you enjoy a barrel a note, a barrel accent in your whiskey. That has it there. It shows about shows up about halfway through, and it carries through to the end. But it doesn't leave you with an overly bitter finish. Mm-hmm. There's some of that barrel bitterness, but it's not overwhelming.
There's a chance they may not be making this. I wonder if they are.
Yeah.
It just is. They just have the typical bottled by. Yeah. So this could be a sourced bourbon that they're finishing in wine casks, similar to what we're doing. Ozark Distillery. Handcrafted at Lake of the Ozarks.
Lake of the Ozarks.
Bourbon whiskey aged under 4 years in American oak.
Okay.
I think it's interesting that they put under 4 years instead of at least 4 years.
So wait, it's 3.
I didn't know you could do that.
So that could be 1.
Yeah, because I would love to put, our whiskey is aged under 27 years.
That's true. It's true.
Which is true. Yeah.
Oh, really nice though on the nose. It's like a creamy honey caramel. The second pass, it jumps out the glass the first time around. The second pass, you quickly start to get used to those flavors.
So in theory, this is 12 to 24 months, and it says it on the back. So why would you go out of your way to say under 4 years? Mm-hmm. That seems a little disingenuous.
Creamy honey caramel.
I'm just saying. The nose is equally subdued to the J. Rieger. It's kind of back there, and you have to try to coax it out. But it's pretty.
I get inklings of a coat closet.
Yeah, it's very woody, kind of dusty.
Mm-hmm. All the vanilla on the taste, though.
Holy crap!
Are you kidding me?
That
vanilla.
That's so vanilla, it tastes almost flavored.
That vanilla came out of nowhere.
It really did. It's not in the nose at all.
And then that vanilla just dissolves into the oak. Yeah. Vanilla dissolving into oak.
That is bizarre. It really is. It's condensed vanilla extract finishing with barrel.
Yes. Now, the main vanilla reference point for a vanilla bomb, I'm going to say, is the TX blended whiskey. It's not that vanilla, but definitely in terms of a bourbon, a very vanilla bourbon. Then you get the classic, you get the oak notes, and then the caramel on the nose. It shows up a bit on the flavor, but the dominant note is that vanilla sweetness that dissolves, transitions into that oak note.
I dig it, but it's definitely an easy mixer. I don't know if I would pick it as a let's sit and drink it.
Well, I think if you...
I'll bet it'd make an amazing bourbon and Coke. Because of the vanilla, it could be like vanilla Coke.
I think if you like the flavors of vanilla, which are very popular, and oak, which is another popular flavor, that can be an amazing marriage of those two flavors.
Yeah. All right, we've done a review on this one before. Do you want to do it again? Well, you know what? Let's see. Instead of opening it, let's just pour a tiny little bit of the other one. Hey, maybe the next dry week is just 5 days of karaoke, of us going to a karaoke place.
This is the...
And taking turns doing karaoke.
Yeah, that's my nightmare.
We can do it Japanese style where you just get your own private room instead of a giant bar.
I only know one song by heart. Like in its entirety.
Achy Breaky Heart?
Loser by Beck.
Oh. But there's not much to that song.
Are you kidding me?
I guess there's some...
chimpanzees, there's so many words.
All right. You're right.
Okay.
Okay, so remember this. Now, we did a review on this, and here's why I wanted to drink. So, remember one of our greatest fears of craft distillery websites?
Rested American whiskey.
Is when they put one of your or mine comments on their website.
Yeah.
On the homepage of their website is a link to the Whiskey Vault review that we did.
Oh, really? Was it a good review?
I don't remember.
That would be hilarious if we didn't like it.
Well, they put it on their homepage. I'm assuming that it was at least reasonable.
Okay.
But that's my worst nightmare. Because then it makes me self-conscious about everything I'm saying. But I never remember. But
nah, see, it's the people are sending us the whiskeys. We are not beholden to the.
No, we don't owe anybody anything.
Right.
But it reminds me that there are real people out there.
Right.
Who actually work
with
to make
real
this thing.
Feelings, Daniel.
Yeah, they're actual human beings.
So on the nose.
Okay, remember what we liked about this one? Well, this is equally vanilla, but this is
not equally vanilla.
It's white corn.
Directionally.
No,
vanilla.
Taste it. Did you taste it?
No,
Taste it. That's what I mean. Tasted it as equally vanilla. 15-gallon barrel. Isn't that great?
What the hell?
I know it tastes very similar.
I was like, are you sure you poured the right glass here.
Yeah, it really tastes.
It's vanilla dissolving into oak.
Yeah, it tastes within a 5 to 10% direction.
Wow.
Of the last one of the Ozark
I
Distilling.
wonder. So he said.
Hang on, let's do an A/B comparison.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
freaking
yeah.
me out. You pour a little more in your glass.
Okay. Did we ever find out what rested American whiskey means?
No, it just doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
Okay, nose.
Okay. Trade me.
This is a little more floral and dramatic on the Pinckney. This one's a little more subdued, but they're pretty close.
I think it's a little more floral and dramatic on the
psychosomatic.
It is. I just have to disagree. Man, they're so similar on the nose, though.
I know. Pinckney has more complexity. It's a little more bitey and a little more grain drama.
A little. And what was... God, I already forgot the name of this one. What was that one?
Ozark Distillery.
Ozark Distillery. It's going to be much more easy, effortless, more rounded off, easy sipper. I'm going to say easy sipper because dramatic, if you want to have some, some nice flavors there, they're still very, very similar. They're cousins. But I think the Ozark whiskey, if somebody is new to whiskey, be a little bit more of an effortless entry into the whiskey. But man, that similarity is just... He sent both of those?
Yeah.
I wonder if he sent both of those because they are so similar.
And because that's his the flavor he likes, maybe?
Yeah.
So this is Wood Hat Spirits.
There's more comfortable hats.
Is it like Dutch wooden shoes? This is batch 18.
Look at the cloudy.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. This is blue corn whiskey, a minimum of 1 year in small barrels.
100%?
New Florence, Missouri.
Is it 100% blue corn?
I think so.
Okay.
So there's not a lot of people doing blue corn. Balcones is doing blue corn. There's 2 or 3 others doing blue corn. The nose is musty.
Yeah. That corn note.
And corn note mixed with, I think, that barrel problem.
It's funny. It may be, once again, it could be psychosomatic, but that blue corn, it's a corn note, but it just feels a little bit darker.
Yeah.
With a little bit more...
weird.
A little bit more character and drama to those notes there, but it's like, oh, that's the corn note, just turned up a little bit and made a little bit...
Okay, this disappoints me.
A little bit more deep.
That it's 40%. Because I feel like this would have been actually an interesting whiskey if they had let it be a little higher. But right now, the taste is just kind of flat. It tastes like a carbonated drink that went flat.
Well, so flat, yes, but I get what you mean. The flavors that are in there. A honeyed black tea, brown sugar.
And then a slight bitter note.
Honeyed black tea, brown sugar. And then almost like
it's a zesty bitter note, though.
Yeah.
Like a lemon rind.
It leaves your tongue feeling like there's a little bit of citrus in there.
Yeah, but it's the bitter rind
And
part.
Am I crazy? Or is there just the tiniest bit of a nutmeg on the finish?
You are crazy.
I think there's a little nutmeg on the finish.
But there might be a little nutmeg on the finish.
I'm saying. A little nutmeg.
Why did that was a false dichotomy, because really the answer is both.
Yes. You're crazy and
there's nutmeg on the finish.
Nutmeg on the finish.
Okay, now we're doing Jim Beam.
Huh?
Now this is a little bit of a left field one for him.
Yeah.
But he wanted to do it because it was interesting. This is their celebrating Repeal Day. The repeal of Prohibition.
It seems like we just did a Jim Beam.
We did.
Okay.
And I would compare, but I'm kind of over whiskey right now.
We only have a lot more to shoot.
Yeah. Okay, so.
Oh, that's clean and fresh on the nose compared to that blue corn we just did. Compared to the blue corn that was that deeper, darker corn character.
So remember the line of fancy whiskeys coming from Jim Beam includes
this is
Baker's Booker's,
right,
Basil Hayden. So there's the classic Jim Beam, and this is a non-chill filtered, and it's being released at it's only 43%. So in theory, what they're trying to do is they're trying to make more of a rich, meaty tasting bourbon.
Yeah.
Instead of filtering it into a lighter whiskey.
I'm telling you, coming off that blue corn, I may not land where they were trying to.
Yeah, it's very it's very apple pie in the nose.
Yeah,
like a bready brown sugar and.
You see what I mean by lighter and fresher than that musty flat blue corn? Yeah.
You would almost say more vibrant. Oh, see, that's nice because it's got the sugar finishing with this spicy finish of wood, right?
Yeah.
Now, what we could do is see if we have another Jim Beam that's close to that and see what it's close to.
Brown.
Nah,
It's sugar. This is what it is. It's sugar and brown honey, and then the finish with the barrel is like this.
See if I can do my version.
That's the finish.
So it's like brown sugar, and then
right, because
you know what that's like?
It's the sugar, the brown honey, and then finish with the barrel note.
You know what that's like? That's like Joe Cocker. Wow! Wow! I have a little help from my friends. Okay, so while he was waiting, and because he's so generous, he sent us money.
Oh God!
To buy a whiskey. So I'm going to show him.
Thank you.
What I bought. So he sent us all this really amazing craft American whiskey.
Yeah.
So I bought a Scotch.
Did you end Brian Dickerson Day?
Yeah, with a Scotch.
With a Scotch.
Now I really wanted to try this Jura, and he had happened to send the money on the same day that I was thinking about getting this Jura.
Yeah.
And so, thanks, Brian. And it's been sitting in the vault. I haven't even opened it myself to try it until today because it just felt like that wasn't fair. There we go. That took forever.
You did it. There's a lot of Juras.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of no-age statement release things. So they call this
I don't know where they
Jura 7 Wood. Now, you know what's better than an 8 whiskey?
Not a 7.
A 7 Wood.
it was it 8 feathers? Is that what
Yeah, it's the 8 feathers.
they look like?
But they look like
Well, to children like us.
Yeah. No. This is a reasonable...
To man babies.
the-
To man babies like us.
Where's
it
the-
looks like...
Speak for yourself. I'm no man, baby.
Man, okay, there's a... Is that a earthiness?
Yeah, for a second. So here's what's weird. For a second, because I was distracted and then thinking about me
Yeah.
wandering around poking bottles.
It's like a malty earthiness.
So for a second, I forgot we had switched to Scotch.
Right.
And I went, what in the world happened to this bourbon? This is amazing. I've never smelled a bourbon like this before.
I love bourbon.
And then it was like, wait a minute. That's malty and butterscotch. Oh yeah, we're drinking Scotch.
Malty, and I'm getting super, super earthy. Just like black, rich dirt.
Yes.
The vegetal note. And then the malt. And then there's going to be some element of sweetness in there, but it's malty earth. Oh, there you go.
Oh yeah, that's peaty.
Mm-hmm.
It's rich in barrel spice. It's a little thin.
Fruity. The fruity sweetness complements the peatiness really nicely.
Yeah, but then it kind of gets thin at the end. Like the oils aren't lingering like I want them to.
I think we like the flavors. I think the finish would be more robust at a higher proof. This is only 43%. 42%.
Yeah. But it's tasty.
Oh, yeah.
And it is very floral and then instantly into this dramatic barrel spice and peaty finish. All right, we finally did it. I think we're at like a 30-minute episode. Emma's doing a tour in here in like 5 minutes.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't even know if we
No,
have
it's usually like 20 minutes.
Can we do the next episode in enough time?
Can we shoot it in 15 minutes?
We gotta be on the ball.
Yeah.
Here's to the ball and fighting, stealing, and drinking.
If you fight me, you fight for a friend.
Steal me, you steal a lover's heart.
And if you drink, may you drink with us.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us in the Whiskey Vault. Don't forget to throw in a like, hit that subscribe button on the bottom right, and drop a question or comment down below.